Hi guys, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Streaks and Strokes Fun on Fabric Painting class. My name is Luke and I'll be your instructor for this video. So for this episode, we'll be painting a cool carefree carrot onto your tote bags, and I'm going to show you how. So if you're ready, let's get started. To start, place a piece of carbon paper followed by the printed design onto the side of the item you want to paint on. Make sure you have a pencil to trace the drawing onto your tote bag or t-shirt. You can place some tape on the sides to prevent the papers from shifting while tracing. While tracing, avoid resting your hands on the carbon paper too much, as this might create smudges on the item which will be hard to wash off. Remember to not fully remove the papers until you have made sure that the whole drawing has been traced. When you're tracing words, make sure to color the inside of the text a few times so that it can be clearly seen when you remove the tracing paper later. However, be sure to only do this if you're painting with dark colored outlines, as if you paint with light color outlines, these traces will be seen afterwards. Once you're done with the tracing, you can remove the carbon paper and printed drawing. If the outline isn't clear, you still can draw over the outlines with a pencil so that it can be seen when you're painting later. When you're ready to start painting, place the envelope or a piece of paper in between the shirt or tote bag so that the paint doesn't go through. For this painting, we will be using ruby red, lemon yellow, jade green, ivory white, and charcoal black. First, we will mix two different shades of orange for the carrot's body. For a darker shade of orange, just add slightly more ruby red, and for a lighter one, add slightly more lemon yellow till you get the colors that you want. We will also mix some jade green with ivory white to get light green. This will be for the top part of the carrot later. Now we can start painting. Remember to use a smaller brush for details and the bigger one to cover larger parts of the painting. Spread as much paint as you can and try not to leave excess paint blobs on the painting itself. Notice that at this part of the painting, I painted the wrong shade of orange on the carrot. So, to fix it, I just painted the lighter shade right on top of it immediately. Do note that you can only do this if the colors are very similar to each other and there's no excess paint on the first layer. If you run out of your first mixture of paint, make sure that when you're mixing it again, you get the shade closest to the initial one. This is to make sure there's no different shades of color on parts that you didn't plan to shade. Notice that I didn't paint the black color of the sunglasses until the last point. This is because light colors, if painted wrongly, can be covered by the dark ones, but you can't cover dark colors with light colors. For the word carrot, I decided to paint it dark orange to go with the theme. Feel free to paint an extra layer over to cover up the tracing underneath. Remember to wash your brushes each time you take a new color of paint. One tip would be to ensure you have a cup of water and some tissue beside you anytime you're painting. Don't worry about not painting too straight or the paint coming out of the tracing, as you're going to outline this painting later, and you can use these black lines to cover up most of these errors. Before outlining the carrot, I began tracing the words. I would suggest only using a small rounded tip brush when painting letters. Try not to paint the lines of your letters too thick, as this will make the font look a bit funny. Now we can start outlining. For outlines, I like to add the black paint onto the palette and mix it with some water so that the paint is thinner and easier to paint with. The fabric paint dries quite fast, so if you feel that your paint is starting to dry, feel free to add 1 to 2 drops of water. Also, if there are lumps in the paint, make sure to mix it thoroughly until it is smooth enough so that it's easier to paint with. And now your painting is finished. Use a hairdryer to blow dry your painting, or you can leave your painting to dry until there is no more wet paint on the painting before bringing it to be ironed. Iron your t-shirt or tote bag for roughly 10 seconds to fully dry the paint on it. After that, you can use it, but only wash your item at least 4 days after ironing it. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have any feedback or questions, feel free to drop a message in our Facebook group. Also, do post your photos of your cool carrots and tag us on Facebook or Instagram to stand a chance to win in our monthly giveaway. See you in our next episode.